really going on with our currency?
Well, that's why your program's so popular, Duncan. I mean, you listen to the mainstream media, if they even talk about inflation, they don't really like to talk about it that much, but it's now become so salient with gas prices that,
Yeah, I mean that almost every evening when you walk past the television, whether it's in your home or whether it's in a lobby of someplace you're walking past, you're going to see a picture of a gasoline pump or a sign at a gas station.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now they're starting to talk about it more, but where was it when inflation was running hot last year? So what you hear from the mainstream media is, Biden is blaming Putin. He called it Putin's price hike. But prior to the invasion of Ukraine, which was February of 2022, February of this year, February 24th, I believe, of this year over year, home prices were up 20%. Now, what in the world does Vladimir Putin have to do with home prices going up 20%? I mean, the fact that you don't take it, here's the scary part. So inflation was running at 7.5% in January, year over year, 7.9% in February of 22, this year over year CPI. Prior to Putin's invasion, because he invaded February 24th, the end of February. Where is the self, introspection when you say, what did we do wrong? Okay, Vladimir Putin exacerbated inflation, no doubt. Bottlenecks, inflation is now 8.6, not 7.9. But taking the Fed's balance sheet from $800 billion to $9 trillion from 2008 to 2022 had nothing to do with it. Taking the balance sheet from 4.5 to 9 trillion in the last 2 years had nothing to do with it. Just so you know, and I know you do, but everybody doesn't know what the base money supply is or the Fed's balance sheet. That's high-powered money. This is physical currency and coins plus Fed credit. This is the building blocks of all money supply comes from the Fed's balance sheet, which has exploded by 100% in the last 2 years. Taking interest rates that should be around 6%, say 4 to 6% on the overnight interbank lending rate, taking them down to zero and leaving them there for the better part of the last 12, 14 years, that's a problem. This is where your inflation is coming from. See, what is inflation? A lot of people like to say, Austrians like myself, it's an increase in the money supply. I go beyond that. Yes, you can increase the money supply, but what money supply? M1, M2, M3, M0, or base money supply? When you boil it down to its lowest common denominator, inflation is when the market votes on the purchasing power of your currency. And they believe that is going to be debauched. It'll be destroyed. That's inflation. It's not a wage price spiral. It's not too many people working. It's none of those things. It's when a fiat currency no longer has the market support and loses its faith in that currency. And that's happened all across the board. Now, I am long in my portfolio. I have been since March of 21, the US dollar. But I'm long against the dollar against what? Against the euro, against the yen, against the renminbi. But that doesn't say, please don't think that Mr. Pento thinks that the dollar is gaining strength. The dollar is getting crushed against hard assets, against energy, for example, against homes. So, it's not just one particular currency. It's the entire construct of fiat currencies that's being destroyed. It's just a race to the bottom, which right now the dollar is winning. It's I say losing the race to the bottom against the euro and the yen.
Another thing you talked about briefly before was